Well, hey everybody. Welcome to another stream. And For this one, I wanted to give a quick update on some of the changes that I've done from last week. Not that there were a lot of them, because real world kind of work. But I did make some updates to the UI just so that it looks, I think, a little bit better now once you interact with this guy. So kind of the interaction text, um, and I think it looks a little bit better. And there's also like the identities of the players. The other thing about it is something that I've just tried recently is that while this guy is previously he had no idle animations or anything like that for the facial animation. So right now, if you look at him, he's got kind of a little bit of this is called a concerned look, and I actually was able to import this from Unreal Engine 5 from the um, and I'll show you right now. It's actually called a city sample, I believe. And let's see, what is it? Yeah, city sample. So the cool thing about this is it has a bunch of these idle animations for like the crowds in the game. So there's like the angry, the happy, the neutral, and I've actually imported the concerned one, and this is what it is. So it looks pretty good. It's got that concerned look to it, and so I was able to export that and import it export it as an FBX from Unreal Engine 5 to 4, where my project is and probably will be. So let's take a look at another one just to kind of go over how I did this. So I'm gonna go with maybe neutral. I actually haven't taken a look at the stair one to see how that looks. Um, okay, so this is actually kind of interesting because the player is gonna focus on you when you interact. So this could be a pretty good looking one, and it's kind of like opening the mouth a little bit when it's not talking. So um, I think the other ones might be better for the characters that you were not going to interact with and don't necessarily have a um, um, a dialogue attached to them. So let's see. So we have the stare. That looks pretty good. Let's take a look at neutral. So I might use both of these. Alright, so neutral is kind of, I guess it could be, it's pretty similar to the other one, the concerned. And there's also happy, which I guess it's kind of a smiling. That looks pretty good. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of I'm more towards the neutral, so I think the neutral looks pretty good, and also the stare. I do like the stare one because it's kind of the eyes. They still have the blinking, and it's not kind of going back and forward. So actually, this could be a good one to use when the character is focused on you, and it's um, it's not talking. And maybe one of the other ones is when he's not focused on you, so you're kind of at a distance from his interaction location. So let's go ahead and I'll actually use this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and export the asset. So I'm gonna export the animation data, and I already have one here, one folder created here. So I'm gonna save that. Just the default settings. I think one of them I've unchecked. I believe maybe the preview mesh. So let's go ahead and export this, and I think it got exported already. And now back into Unreal Engine 4, so now we're in 5. Let's go to 4 where my project is, and I'm gonna go ahead and import that facial animation. So let's see, where was it? In exports, and this is the crowd stare, so I'm just gonna bring it in here. Gonna go ahead and for my skeleton select I always miss what these ones are called. I think it's called Metahumans, something like that. Let's see, face, yeah, face archetype skeleton. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit import. Might take a little bit of time, just all these keys need to be imported. So once that is in, then we can apply. So what I did is, I'll show you the animation blueprint. I've applied this as a kind of an idle animation to my metahuman, and that is blended with the montage that I've shown you how I generated it in one of the previous streams, and I can blend between the two. So whenever he's talking, you know, that animation montage plays, and when he's not, you know, it reverts to this particular animation. So let's see, did that get imported? There it goes. Alright, so now we have the stare in here in Unreal Engine 4 where I wanted it, and here it goes. So I think that looks pretty good. He's doing a little bit of kind of like a mouth movement, and you know, kind of the forehead and eyebrows, eyelids. That looks pretty good. So back in here, let's take a quick peek at so this is the AnimBP, the face AnimBP, and what I've created is let's see, where did I put that? Yeah, it's probably here. So I created the state machine of idle, and it's very simple. It just has the crowd concerned that's playing on a loop, and instead of this one, I'm actually going to use the other one, which is the stare. So let's do stare. I'm just going to drag it in, and you can switch between these, you know, depending on if you want to set some kind of variables to switch between them. But for now, I'm just going to use the stare because it works. So back in here, let's take a look at how it looks when we interact with this guy. So as you can see, you know, he's focused on me. The eyes don't move like with the other one. And I can go ahead and interact with them. And right now, none of these dialogues have, or these options have facial animation recorded. So let's go ahead. I'm going to clear the current saved game. And let's talk to him again. So there's that little intro. This is the one down here. So is it something that you can help me with? Sure, why not? And he defaults back into the kind of stare animation. He looks a little sad though, but I mean, I'm kind of okay with that, at least for now. And I can exit out of that. So yeah, that's actually pretty good. And then he kind of goes into that stare animation when he's like looking at you. So the other thing that I've done throughout the past week was the transition between where the player is whenever you start interacting with one of those NPCs, and so kind of the transition back and forth. So you know, I walk up to him, so say from this angle, and then just starting the interaction with and the transition to that camera. So I have a camera mounted on this NPC. So I just I do a blend to that camera and then back. The other thing that I'm also doing, so just that I can show you, is I'm rotating the player so that both of them face each other. That way, when I exit, the camera is not going to revert to pointing somewhere away from this guy. So it just reverts slowly back to where you were. So there we go. I think having that idle animation definitely helps with this, and then just being able to transition to interact with him, that also helps quite a bit, I think. Okay. The other thing that I've done is, if you remember from the last stream, I was working on some of the dialogues here. So kind of making sure that depending on where you at in the quest, the proper branch of the tree gets picked. And so what I've done is I actually added not added, but fixed my check for quest assigned. In the previous video, I was looking at the pending quests, and I actually should have looked at the active quest, and that was my mistake. Alright, and so with that, let's do a quick test. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and first quest is to find Jim. So I'm going to interact with Jim, and the initial dialogue it started where he actually has that recorded, or that automatically generated lip motion. And so now let's go ahead, and I'm gonna say no, I still got a couple of things to do. I don't want to take that quest yet, the quest to feed Rocco. So let's try it again. So now if I talk to Jim, so now it defaults into the he doesn't introduce himself anymore. It just defaults into, oh, you back, are you ready to help me out? So let's go ahead, and I'm gonna say sure, what is it? And he's gonna give me the quest to feed Rocco. Okay, I'll do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and feed Rocco. Alright, so that got completed. Now when I talk to Jim, and apparently I still have some errors. Where at this point he should have asked me if we look at the dialogue, he should have gone into any luck. Doesn't look like the feed Rocco is really working out. So this is checking to see if the quest got assigned, and unfortunately that could be one of the problems, because the quest is no longer an active quest, it's a completed quest at this point. So that's what this one should look and see if if not only has been assigned, but maybe if it probably has been completed. So that's one of the, let's see if we can add another condition. So this one would be, let's see if this works. Haven't tried this yet. So check for quest completion. So I'm gonna have the same thing. So this is if quest got assigned, and then if quest got completed. So let's try this one more time. See how this works. Alright, so first of all, we're gonna start by finding Jim. Sure, what is it? Okay, I'll do it. Feed Rocco. If I talk to him again, any luck in feeding Rocco, which is this one here. And actually that's not good, because this one should not show. So I'm kind of wondering if not entirely sure how these work together. If one of them fails, because this one is not completed. Let's take a look at that real quick. Alright, so if in complete quest we have this one item, let's take a look at do some breakpoints in here, and let's try this out. So I'm gonna start this again. Alright, so we're about to go and find Jim. So let's grab the quest. The find Jim got completed. So now I'm going to try and go ahead and feed Rocco, but before I do that, I'm not going to complete the quest. I'm going to try and interact with him and see what we get. Alright, so yeah, so this one shouldn't show up, the yes he is fed, because at this point I should only get this one, not yet, still got a couple of things to do. So let's see. Condition check for quest completion. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see, I'm gonna try something else. So if that is that, then this one's here. Yeah, my concern is that in here, in my for loop, I had a sequence where if it did find the quest name, it was first doing the break, but I think after the break, it wasn't doing this. It might have not done the second part of it. It was jumping into the return node. So I'm wondering if that might have been one of the issues. So I'm gonna try and take away that sequence. Alright, so let's see. Hopefully I'm starting from the beginning. And let me I'm gonna need to reset the saved game. Alright, so I'm gonna talk to Jim. Alright, so there's the intro. Actually, no, I wanted to, sure. Now if I talk to him again, so this one shouldn't, the second one shouldn't happen. So this one shouldn't show up before I feed him. So it's maybe part of this, or let's see, I think it might be on this node here. So I'm going to try and add another condition to say where I'm going to check for quest completion. So I'm going to do the same thing. So condition, check for quest completion, and let me copy this. But my only concern with that is that well, so this one, is checking to see if the quest got completed, and so is this one. And they both show up no matter what. So there's some kind of an issue that I'm having here. Let's see, where is my delete saved game? Alright, so this one works. Okay, I'll do it. When I talk to him again, let's see what we're looking at. So let's see, do I have the same error that I have there? Try this again. I also had a for loop in my quest assigned, so I'm going to try that, changing that a little bit. Alright, so let me talk to Jim. I get the right dialogues. Okay, I'll do it. Then when I talk to him again, yeah, so this one shows up properly. Any luck in feeding Rocco? But this particular one should not be showing because it hasn't been completed. Let's see, what do we have wrong here? I'm actually wondering if I should change the order of these. So this is gonna get looked at first, and in here I'm gonna be deleting this condition, and if this guy is checking for quest completion to see if it can show up, let's try it that way. Alright, so let's get into game mode. Find Jim, sure. Everything works fine there. Okay, I'll do it. If I interact with him again, it just changes, so it changes the order, but I have yet to complete the quest. not returning the right value? Let's try this. Alright, so talking to Jim. Oh, there we go. That's much better. So I haven't and yeah, I think I forgot to, let's see if I delete the save game. Is it jumping into the wrong dialogue now? Apparently so. So let's see, this one is checking for quest completion. Let's see. This one's also looking for quest completion. Yeah, so this is the current issue, figuring out how to bypass this node so it doesn't show up. Because this quest hasn't been completed. Why would this fail? So talking to Jim, I'm checking the completed quest first, and then the current active quests, just to see if the quest got assigned. That feeding Rocco quest, which it has been. And then I'm also checking to see if it got completed. And that one returns a false. But it seems to be kind of going out of that loop. Let's take another look here. So this one, so this one works fine as far as checking for quest completion. When it sees that it finds Jim, it goes into the following. But why doesn't that work with the player dialogues? Let's test this again. So I'm checking for quest completion. Alright, now yes, still got a couple of things to do. Then I interact with him again. And at this point I do find it. I'm going to check for quest assigned. Which is feed Rocco. And then also the completed quest. And that one's false, which is should be. Okay, so this lists the correct dialogues. Sure, what is it? And not yet. So if I pick up the quest, which now is to feed Rocco, and I'm talking to him again. So basically, let's see, we should be right here with any luck in feeding Rocco. Going over the quests, I know the find Jim is already completed, so I'm going to skip it. Then I'm going to see if the quest got assigned of feed Rocco, which it should be. And now about the completed quests. Is feed Rocco one of them? And that comes back as false. But yet this one still shows. I'm wondering if I flip the order on the sequence, if I still had the sequence back in. So like I had it before, I had the sequence in here. So iterating over the for loop, and then I think I might be doing something wrong with the sequence here where I'm placing it. Because this one can return a false, but at that point it just exits, and it should actually go into this node. So this is something that I'm trying to figure out as to what's going on. So I'll have to do some digging into that separately, and hopefully I'll get that fixed today, and tomorrow resume with this part fixed. So that way the this node doesn't show up unless you have completed the feed Rocco quest, as this condition is set. So I think there's this issue that I have with this for each loop with break, and I'm gonna be looking into that. No point in just kind of digging around during the stream. So anyways, yeah, this was a short update. Again, I'm pretty happy with having these kind of idle animations on the NPCs, on the NPCs faces, and also whenever they're not talking but you're still interacting with them, have that not be just a static, completely static face. So I think that's pretty good. And also being able to export some of that FBX animation from Unreal Engine 5 was really useful. And hopefully that was something useful to anybody that's trying to do some facial animations in Unreal Engine 4. Alright, thanks everybody for checking this out, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, take care.